There is one thing that I've never heard in my life. Sandee, we can't hear you. And I wouldn't use a microphone except I understand the people who are listening to the recording would not be able to hear me as loud as I can talk. My name is Sandee Cohen. If you can't tell, I am from New York City. I am a real New Yorker. And I want to welcome you to the animation for portfolios and presentations. We're going to have, there's one thing you need to know about me, okay? I am insane, all right? So there's no sitting there like this, you know, loosen up, relax, we're going to have fun. Let me just quickly, how many of you have never touched InDesign? Oh, thank God. How many of you, though, consider yourself primarily a photographer or design or illustrator, that kind of thing? How many of you want to make portfolios? How many of you like coming to see me speak? Okay, I don't know why you're here for the other stuff, but we're going to have fun. My name is Sandee. I did that part. I'm going to how many of you are working, when you go back to your home cells and caves, are working primarily in Windows? Okay. Windows people, everything is upside down from the Mac. So whatever you're looking at here, it'll be upside down and you'll be fine. Adobe has one thing though, Adobe has made in their apps almost 100% the same. So once you're in the app, you won't have to worry. For this session, I have some incredible helpers, my TAs. I've got Melinda Grant right there, Melinda. I've got Jason. I'm terrible about remembering names. I've got Jamie in the back. And if you are having trouble, which if I do my job right, you shouldn't have trouble. But if you are having trouble, please don't sit there trying to click madly. Just this is the universal symbol for I'm drowning, okay? If you go to the ocean and you are drowning, you go like this, okay? People at home, I just raised my hands up and waved them around. But if you are drowning, raise your hands and I will probably, if my TAs don't see you, I will say, we have somebody drowning over there. So please ask for help. Very, very important. Turn it off. You don't want them catching you. You're here. Don't let them call you. Just turn it off, relax. If you have a problem, you need to leave to go to the ladies' room and the men's room, and I will let you figure out which one you're supposed to go to. I have no idea where they are. They're that way, okay? So just get up and leave. If you have to leave early, just get up and leave. I'll take it personally, but don't worry. Now, I cannot tell you how or why, but somebody will be going home with some fabulous prizes. Well, there's only one. This is the book on creating animations with InDesign, and a lot of what we're going to do today comes from this book. So somebody, and I can't tell you how or why, but you know, it's just be on your toes. Okay, so that is that. Are there any questions? Okay, everybody is in the right place. Animations for portfolios and presentations. Okay, you're not here for some clothing design. No. All right, so I have this here. I have this here. And let me take you through something. I'm going to back up for a moment because I want you to watch the screen carefully. Did you see how it dissolved on? We're going to do that. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Very quickly, I'm running through this. This is all in your workbook, so I don't have to, you don't have to memorize it. This is about me. This is about the book. This is about Mel. This is what we're going to be covering. And this is, we're going to look at panel preparation, making the panels, which I expect you can do very quickly. We're going to create a portfolio slideshow. Watch this. Watch this. Watch what happens. Is this not cool? Look at it. The flags are changing. The sport is changing. The screen, the guy is smiling. If you had a portfolio, you could make a portfolio dissolve from one image to another. And then your people would be seeing it online. You could send them a link. This is way better than Behance. Oh, did I say that? No. Adobe people, just put that out of your head. Okay, so that is one of the things we're going to be doing. And this is all in your workbook. We're going to make an animated logo. Cool. And come on, you can go forward. Yes, we're going to do that. We're going to make a thing, this is cool for portfolios, where you've got images, and then at the bottom you've got these other little versions, and if you click, you can actually go from one thing to another. Yeah, oh, yeah. I like it when you blurt things out spontaneously. That makes me feel good. So we're going to be doing that. Flashcards. Watch this. Next page. Very quick. Come on, go. Ooh, imagine that for a presentation. We're also going to, we're going to learn. Now, this is not easy, and if we don't get to it, it's okay because you have all the steps in the workbook. But it's how to make something dissolve on and off. And the reason I say it's not easy is you can't do it. But how did I do it? We'll find out. You can't do it, but you will do it. Let's see. Each page has the information as to how you do it. So you're going to have everything in the workbook and whatever. All right, exporting. I'm going to show you how to export to something called a fixed layout Epub. You've heard of Epubs? Have you heard of the web? Has anybody gone on the web? Have you bought things? Okay. There is a fixed layout Epub, which you could buy on the web, or you can make one for your own machine, or there is something, why is my clicker is not working well. You can export as publish online. And finally, we're done here. So let me, pardon? Where does it publish it? Through InDesign. Now, where is it hosted? Right now, the InDesign Publish Online publishes to an indd.adobe.com/blah, blah, 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 blah. So you are hosted by Adobe. But if you can embed the code for that hosted on Adobe in your own website. But for the moment, you can't get what I'm looking at right here. I can't get that, quote, presentation into my own. I can't put it into Dreamweaver or that kind of thing. But it's better than nothing. And you can give your customers the link, which is as good as giving them a link to Behance.
Have you heard of Visme?
Who? Say it again, because I don't hear well. The answer, the question is, she has a client who's been looking for something interactive, digital like this, and she's online, and she's wondering if this is the answer. And it's a catalog?
It's an annual report.
Annual report, perfect. What's wonderful about this is you maintain the layout from your InDesign print document to here. Your client may not want it hosted by Adobe Land. So the fixed layout EPUB, which can be put up on their own site and then downloaded, then their customers watch it on their own machines using iBooks or something called Adobe Digital Editions. So, can they print it? You can also have them download a PDF. Okay? Now, I would love to just keep talking to you because this is something I love, but if you have more questions, what do they call it? Offline. We'll do it offline. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is come out of the full screen. Excellent. So this was in Chrome on the web. That's what I was doing. This is very simple. And I'm going to close this up. And what I'd like you to do is on your desktop, and let's just see if I have this. Yeah. Oh, that's a little too much. Okay, I have this here. On your desktop, you should see something. It's an InDesign document. What I'd like you to do is open the InDesign document. Now, everybody, I am really sorry, this shouldn't have happened, but you're going to get a missing font, all right? You can ignore the missing font, or you can follow me right now to fix the missing font, all right? If you want to follow me, and is everybody up there with InDesign? Oh, it should take a while to explode or load. If you don't have InDesign and the document up, raise your hand. Excellent. Okay, so what I'd like to show you, though, is, this is not InDesign. Oh, I know what this is. Application form. Okay, this is totally screwed up. Okay, that's not helping me, Sandee. That's not helping me. I'm sorry. It works better at home. And the mouse is not working. There you go. And I've come here, and I'm going to make this. You would think I've never used the computer before. It's got something to do with the thing. Okay, that's what I can do. I turned that off. My zoom in, my zoom out. That was, who said that? Jason, oh. Yeah, okay, he was right, I was wrong. All right, so what we have is the document. If you have the wrong font, some of you probably did this already. You go up to the type menu, and you choose from the middle, Find Font. And you should see a little yellow triangle for Myriad Pro black. All you have to do is select Myriad Pro Black. Then come down to the bottom and change it to, I think you only have Myriad Pro Regular. That's fine. Then you've got Myriad Pro Black, Myriad Pro Regular. Just click Change All. And if it says anything, just change all is applied to hidden conditional text. Are you kidding me? Don't show again, click OK. I have no idea why this is doing that. I did not make hidden conditional text, I promise you. In any case, if I got it to work, just click Find first and then Change All, and then click Done. Okay, everybody, you've kind of gotten up to speed? Excellent. Now, let me explain. The document you are working on is your workbook. It is also the document that you will have the pre-made objects and images that we will be working on. So you've got both things. I should probably make that better. Okay. So we will be working with this document. The first page is here, and I'm going to scroll down. And this is that second page with the information about me. I don't care to see it right now. So I'm going to go to the next page, which is the book, and then I've got the next page, which is Melinda, and then I've got the next page here, which is the table of contents, and, oh, I should go back to the table of contents. Let me just show you something. When you leave here in your workbook, this is the link to the page I showed you online, Publish Online. So you'll be able to go up to that Publish Online document and look at it. You can also download a PDF of the document. So if you want that to give to your friends and neighbors. There is also, you can come here to Dropbox and download this InDesign document so you can practice at home. So everything you need is here. The one thing that it's a Dropbox file on my Dropbox, and I just can't keep everything up there forever, so it will expire after September 30th. All right? So this is that, and panel preparation. Let's just go very quickly through panel preparation. Would you please go to the window menu, click on the window menu, and go down to where it says Workspace. You will see different workspaces for InDesign. One of the workspaces on the right is called Interactive for PDF. Now, we're not actually making a PDF, but we're starting with interactivity. So that's what we'll choose right now. When you choose it, I don't know if yours looks like mine. Mine looks like crazy. So what I would do is come back up to Window, Workspace, and choose Reset Interactive for PDF. This is the way the Adobe engineers decided you would want to work with interactive documents, but it's not enough. So this page shows you how to change it. I'm going to have you change it right now. What we need is to go to Window. Now, we're not going to go to Workspace. This time, we go down to Interactive, and these are all the extra panels from Interactivity. You're going to choose Animation, and just tuck it over to the side, or you can bring it all the way over into your dock of panels. So we have window, interactive, animation. Choose window, interactive, not effects. I made a mistake. This is so weird. Window, interactive timing at the bottom. And I am really having trouble. I may have to go out and buy a mouse. Timing, okay. And then finally, window, interactive, Epub Interactive Preview. All right. Now the interactive preview, you're going to make this bigger later, but for right now, I want things just the way they are. So we made the interactivity, we made the timing and animation, we added those, and we took out an Epub Interactive Preview. All right? I'm going to go flying across further because I want to get onto the good stuff. Panel preview is not the good stuff. So the portfolio slideshow, just to let you know, when you're doing something like this, you are stacking things above each other. All right? Now I have them like an accordion, but you really will have them stacked one on top of another, which is the layering you have to do in InDesign. What I'm going to do here is, this is the effect that you saw. And if you want to preview an effect, do you see your Epub Interactive Preview panel? If you come over to the very bottom on the left is a microscopic triangle. What you will do is click the microscopic triangle. I'm not on the page. So you really want to click on that page to make sure you're on the page with the big golf ball. Then click the triangle. And in the little interactive preview, you see the portfolio presentation. Now, obviously, this is much too small. So all you have to do is come to the lower right corner and drag to make it bigger, and you will see it bigger. All right? If you want to collapse this panel, double-click on the name of the panel, and you will collapse it to the smaller sizes. All right? So that's what we're going to do right now. Now, next thing. Do you see these numbers? Now, you're going to get to a page with the grid. The order that you select things is very important. In this case, while the golf ball of the United States on the bottom right that one is at the top of the layer, that one has to get selected first. Now, if you were like me, or like if I were like I was a couple of months ago, I would just take my selection tool, which is the top tool on the right, on the left. Yeah, I know, you're upside down, Sandy. But if I took that selection tool, if you were doing this, you would just go and marquee drag, and you'd select them all. And they would be in the wrong order for the animation. So that's why I have these numbered, and what we're going to be doing is selecting them from the bottom right to the left, 1, 2, 3. Then we skip over 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You guys can see that pretty easily. So what I'd like you to do is come up, scroll up to the next page, which is where you've got the actual objects that we are going to be animated. And what I'd like you to do is hold the Shift key. You're going to hold the Shift key, and you're going to click on each one of the images in the order, bottom right to left, middle right to left, top right to left. Okay, I messed up. If you get, try, and when you click in the upper right corner of the object so that you don't select the image instead of the object. I don't know if you're aware, InDesign separates objects from their frame. But I now have all the objects selected. Everybody with me? Anybody not? Good, excellent, you guys are great. So what I'd like you to do is come up. Now we're going to stack these. What we're going to do is stack them vertically and stack them horizontally on the centers. So up in your control panel, you will see a little thing that says Align Horizontal and Align Vertical Centers. So what I do is I first click Align Horizontal, and then I click Align Vertical. So they are now stacked one on top of another at the size, the small one. Now, you could make them bigger, but I'm going to keep them at their size because to go through all the scaling would take too much time. But what I am going to do is just drag this over. Did I get? Yes, I got all of them. So they are now in the middle of the screen. So what do we do next? We are going to the animation panel. And I'm going to, I should have done this, but can you see the panel, what's written there? Should I change this, or can you see it? You can see it? Okay, great. You're better than me. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply a preset. InDesign ships with animation presets. Now, I know that my top image is the first one that will be visible because it's on the top, and then it was going to fade out. So what I do in the animation panel is go to where it says presets, and it currently says choose. I'm going to click. Now, you won't have the ones at the top because those are presets I made myself. And as you get into animations, you'll make your own. But what you do want to do is choose fade out. Okay? So at this point, we have this set to fade out, but the duration, if you look, and by the way, this is really important. You have selected 9 objects. You are applying individual animations to all, the same animation to all 9 objects. But if you wanted 9 objects to fade out together, you group them. Very simple. But in this case, we're going to apply the animation to all 9 objects individually, and the duration, you're going to set it to 4 seconds. So it will take 4 seconds for the objects to fade out. I'm going down instead of up. Let's just type in 4 here. All right, so I have 4 seconds. Now, this is going to go from one object, and 4 seconds, it's going to dissolve away. Another object, 4 seconds. But I want to give my audience a chance to watch it. And the question is, how long do I want them to watch it? That's up to you, but for me, I want them to watch it for 2 seconds. So where do I do that? Over at the timing panel. That was the other thing. And I'm going to make my timing panel a little bigger. This is where the images that I set animations for are listed. All I have to do here is click on the top, and then the universal key for selecting a whole bunch of other things, hold the Shift key, click at the bottom, and then what you want to do is select a 2-second delay. So if I come up to the top here, the delay will say the following. Let me just explain what I have done. I have said each one of these objects is going to dissolve away, is going to fade out, taking 4 seconds. But between each one of them, it's going to pause for a moment. That's what the delay is. And then I'll see it for 2 seconds, and then it will dissolve away. So it's both the animation duration and the timing delay that is very important. Very simple. Okay, if we have done this right, stack the cards. If we have done this right, we should be able to see something in the Epub Interactive Preview. So I'm going to double-click on the Epub Interactive Preview, and I'm going to click the play. There's the US flag, and it dissolves into the Australian. It dissolves into the football with the rainbow flag. It dissolves into another golf ball with the Australian flag. And you have just created an animation in InDesign. How many of you did not know how to do that before you woke up this morning? How many of you knew how to do this? Oh, my TA. One person over there. You already knew how to do this? Oh. Did I tell you anything that was new? No? What is your name? Sam? Sam will be teaching the rest of the class. Okay, Sam, tell you what, Sam. If you learn anything new as we go through this, you have to raise your hand. If you learn nothing new, I will go home in tears. You already knew that in the back? Did you learn anything in there that was like a little tip? Did you know about ordering the selection numbers? Nobody knew that. Okay. Sam, I have my eye on you. What is your name? Annette. Or Annette? Annette. Okay. I've got my eye on you. The rest of you, you learned something. Okay. Let's double-click here. And that is creating a portfolio slide. Notice, though, everything is on one page. Okay? Let's go to the next page. Oh, we're going to animate a logo. And what I did here, if I click the little play button, see, one thing you have to do, you have to click on the page to make sure you're on the page where the animation is. Okay, so this logo starts, and you've got a little sunburst thing, and it's going to rotate. It's going to rotate not forever, for a certain amount of time, and then it stops. You also have the text that is revealed. Okay, it's like typing the text. So this is the animated logo. It also could be used as a great opener. You know, have your name revealed as part of an opener for a presentation. So let's see how we can do that. I'm going to scroll down to the next page, and I'm going to move something that is really important for you to recognize. I'm moving, by the way, I have this little rectangle, that's just covering up. That's going to cover up the text. I have given it a very, very slight tint, simply so we could see it on the screen. But when you do it, it would be the color of paper. This is important. I'm going to bring this down and explain something. The text is at the bottom. The reveal, the thing that's hiding the text, got to do that. The thing that's hiding the text is in the middle. It can't be at the top, because if it were at the top, it's going to move from left to right to reveal the text. If it were at the top, it would run across and hide my sunburst. So the stacking order, or technically the engineers call it the Z order, X, Y, and Z. Oh, that's right, Z. The Z order is important, and in this case, it's in between. Okay, everybody's with me. So I'm going to come back, and what I'm going to do is move this little rectangle that hides the text over, and I'm just using the selection tool, nothing exciting. Move that over the text, and I'm going to click on the sunburst. And I'm going to go to my animation panel. And in my animation panel, again, we're going to choose a preset. Oh, actually, we're not going to choose a preset. I'm going to show you Sam and Annette. I don't think you know this. I want to set this to be an animated object, but there is no preset that I can use. So what do I do? First thing I'm going to do is come down to Properties and open it. Now, Sam and Annette are saying, I know Properties, that's no problem. But I'm going to come down to where it says Rotate. And what do I want it to rotate at? 360 degrees. Now, the reason I said there was no preset, because the preset that comes for rotation is only 180 degrees. And what that means is my sunburst will rotate halfway and then zap right back down. So this will rotate at 360. I can even make it rotate at 720. Did you know that, Sam? Ha! Do you know that, Annette? She did. Okay, we'll get there. But in this case, I'm going to say 360 degrees. And the dictionary is trying to give me the definition of that. I don't care. So I'm going to type in 360 degrees. The thing about this, though, that is so cool is not only did I apply the rotation, it's now an animated object. So I didn't have to choose a preset. It's already animated. One more thing, though. How many times do I want it to play? In this case, I'm going to make it, I don't even remember what the, revealing the text, animating the sunburst, it's there. Duration is 10 seconds to come in. So I'm going to say my duration, which is a slow rotation, is 10 seconds. And it's going to play 5 times, which means how long is the sunburst going to be animated for in time? If it plays 5 times for 10 seconds, how long will it be animated for? 50 seconds. What is your name? Virginia. You're in line for the book. Because that was brilliant. Okay, she can do math. So in that case, I've got duration 10 seconds. It's going to play 5 times. And that's actually it. I don't have to do anything else with this. Next, I want to reveal the rectangle. Now, this can be tricky. Click on the rectangle. Okay, we've selected it. And what I wanted to do is move across from left. Be careful. You know, once I had a presentation and I was walking around the room, and I walked around the room like this, and I'm in front of all the screens, and I hit the surge protector that was up at the top of the screen, and I had 20 heads that went, they were down here, and they all went, and their glasses knocked off. But, so things happen. Also was in San Francisco for a conference, and they had an earthquake. It's exciting. It was a little one. Okay, so we want this to move from left to right. There is a preset for that. So we're going to go to the presets, and you tell me which preset will allow me, which one? Move right, yes. So I'm going to choose the preset Move Right. Now, everybody see this green thing? Yeah, okay, the green thing, and if you lose the green thing, just click again on the rectangle. The green thing is the motion line. The motion line for the preset will stop here in the middle of the text, which means that my rectangle is not going to go. I want it to go all the way across the page. The following is tricky. With your selection tool, click on the green line. Now, it turns into pretty much an object. It is an InDesign object. And what you need to do is come over to the right side of the object. Now you can see the arrow that's telling you which direction. And press when you get there and drag. And I'm dragging it all the way over to, I already had a guide. See that guide all the way over on the pasteboard? That guide tells me I've cleared the page. All right. So at this point, I have my sunburst. I'm going to click off. I have the sunburst. I have the text revealed. Let me do something because I'm going to make a mistake. All right. So I know what I'm doing. It is a mistake right now. I'm going to click that little play thing. So this rotates and rotates and rotates and rotates. And it's just going to keep rotating. For how long, Virginia? 50 seconds. After 50 seconds, then the rectangle will move across. Well, my customers do not have the time to wait for this rotation to finish. What I need are the two of the things to play together. So what I'm going to do is double click here. I'm going to go over to my timing panel. And I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. You can see here, it says logo, and then it says rectangle. I need to click them both, select them both, hold the shift key, and then I'm going to come down to the very bottom, and you can see there's a little linky thing, okay? I'm going to click the linky thing. And when I click the linky thing, Melinda, that's not a technical term, you know that. That's what she calls it, yeah, the linky thing. So what I now have for logo and rectangle is a bracket. That bracket says they'll play together. Well, there's one problem with that. They're both going to start at the exact same time. And I want my customers to see the sunburst for just a tiny bit, and then the text is revealed. So what am I going to do? I'm going to select the rectangle. And then when I come up here, I'm going to set it to delay. We'll do it 1 second. So basically, I've told InDesign to play these two things together, but wait for the rectangle. Have the rectangle wait a second. So I've done this. This is great. Set the timing, clean up and preview. We move this into position. All I have to do now is double click again on the page. This is what you created. Click the little play guy. It starts for a second. The text is revealed too quickly. So what I'm going to do is come back, click on the rectangle. Now, what, and Virginia, don't answer because you're already in the running. What object or what panel do I go to change the speed that the rectangle moves? Who said animation? Okay, you're in the running. And all I want to do here is change the duration of the rectangle's animation to maybe two and a half seconds. Now, I come back up and I click. It rotates, and the text is revealed very nicely. Now, you may have seen in the preview that I obscured the text of the workbook. In this situation, you would make sure that everything is above the masking rectangle. All right? Questions on this? Annette, did you learn anything yet? She did? You did? She's afraid to answer. Yes?
Just out of curiosity, our little green line, why does it start in the center and not over the left-hand side? It reveals itself.
Yeah, that's a great question. So the green line, why is it starting in the center? That's just the default. There actually is a way to make it start on the left side, but for some reason, it's moving from its center. But you could make it, and as we get more, if we got more advanced, if you had my book, you would see how to change the green line. Okay, other questions? All right, anybody think this is useful? Okay, good. This is important. So, we have revealing a logo, and the fun part about this is you really can do some neat animations for things. Okay. All right. What we're going to do now is probably the most tricky that we're going to do. I'm not going to do all the buttons. I'm just going to do 2 of them, okay? But this is something very different. All right, now, this is the page, and I'm just going to click on my page. And I'm going to click on the play. I have a cat who every time I say play, she goes and gets a toy. I'm going to click. And then you can actually, in the preview, click here, and you can see that this is an interactive preview of clicking on the buttons. So I have, this is what we're going to create, but we're only going to create 2 buttons. I'm going to scroll down, and the first thing is, I had already applied a fade-in animation to this. So this is like Jamie Oliver, where the cooking is already halfway done. So I'm going to select all of these big images. I lost my selection for a moment. Okay. I'm trying to explain this. Has anyone used something called multi-state objects? Of course you haven't it. What we're going to do is create a multi-state object with all the stacks of the images. So I'm going to come over, and actually it's not in my little thing. So I'm going to go over to Window, Interactive, and this is confusing. We're making a multi-state object, but you choose the Object States panel. So Interactive, and then come over to Object States. Now the Object States, all I have to do is select all the objects and go to the bottom of the Object States panel. You will see Adobe's universal symbol for new. That's how you get a new page, a new brush, a new anything. And all I have to do is click the new. And let me just make this panel options a little bigger for you.
It's a bit like Adobe News, isn't it?
It's about what?
A bit like Adobe News.
Okay, the comment was it's a bit like Adobe Muse. No, Adobe Muse is like InDesign. But it is right. And what you're looking at now in the Object States panel, this is more to me like layers. Because whatever the stacking order was, now I can click and I see the image of what I have. Now the names, the states, these are called states. We have states in America, you have states here. The states are automatically numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. I can rename them if I want, but I'm going to leave them the way they are right now. What I want to do is make the button that goes to a state. It's very simple. Right now, let me click on the red telephone because we can all see that very easily. So I've got the red telephone, and I'm looking, and it's state 4. So I'm going to come down to the little red telephone, and I'm going to make it a button. And the button is going to go to state 4. So the red button is selected. I'm going to come over to my panels, and you'll see where it says Buttons and Forms. Click on Buttons and Forms. And again, this is one of those quick things. You could come down and make it a button and da-da-da, but it's faster and easier to simply click on that plus sign next to Actions. Click on that, and if you come in the middle, you will see 4 things there. One of them says, go to state. The other one says, go to next state or go to previous state. Now, we're not going to do next and previous, but you can have one button that cycles through all the states. But what we're going to do is choose go to state. And the go to state this is the appearance. This is not where we're going. This is what the button looks like. But the state that we're going to go to is, does anybody remember? State 4. So I'm going to click and choose State 4. And I now have a button that goes to a specific state. I am then going to click on the object states, and I'm going to click on there's a funny name for this kind of telephone, but I've forgotten it. But I've got this, and it's state 3. I'm going to click on its button. I'm going to click again the actions in buttons and forms. Now I know we've got animation, we've got timing, we've got buttons and forms, we got Epub. You really need a lot of screen real estate with these buttons, with these panels. But I'm going to click on the phone. I'm going to click go to state. The state, which is here, I'm going to choose state number 3. Thank God they have these little thumbnail previews, because I would never be able to do this without it. And I now have 2 buttons that are interactive. And just to show you, when you make an object a button, it gets this little, oh, Adobe has some funny name for this, a squidgy or something like that. But it should, a what? A doodad. No, it's something like icon or something like that. It's weird. But this now tells you this is the button. When I go, of course, to my Epub, come on, oh, that's it, Epub Interactivity. If I click, I get the red telephone. If I click, I get the other telephone. This is so cool. You can, on, again, one page, you've got all the thumbnails of your artwork, and then your visitors get to look through this. Much better than that other thing, the B word. Okay, now, let's come back here. And flashcards. Okay. I'm going to come over and show you I have to click on that page just to make sure I have it. And then I'm going to click, bam, 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 bam. Okay? Very quickly. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I just want to show you because this is a trick. And if Sam or Annette know this, I'm going to kill myself. No, I won't. But what I'm going to do is select, no, I'm moving to the next page. Sorry about that. I have to move to the next page. Same thing. I need to select these guys in the order that I want them to come on. So I'm going to hold the Shift key and click 1, 2, 3, then go over to the middle row top, 1, 4, 5, 6, come over to the left, 7, 8, 9. And I want to animate them. What I'm going to do, I just want to make sure, this is like tricky. That's why I think if they know this, I'm just going to run out screaming. I'm going to say appear. So the preset is going to be appear. All that means is turn on. Okay, it's no fades, no nothing, just turn on. The next thing is, oh, I'm sorry, I just made a huge mistake. Does anybody know the huge mistake that I just made? Yes. Did you read it on the thing or knew it from the, you read it? You figured it out. No, I just said appear. No, the thing that I'm doing is making the white things disappear. So what I'm going to do is change the preset to disappear. That was exciting. Now, the duration.
So all the pictures are under those white boxes?
Yes. And by the way, actually, all the pictures are actually just one picture. And these little white things disappear to reveal them. See, sometimes it's not a question of making something show up, it's making something disappear. So in this case, I've got my flashcard, the little white things, they're going to disappear. Here's the trick. The duration is going to be the lowest duration that I can get. So I'm just going to squeeze that down arrow. 0.125 seconds is the lowest duration I can get. However, I will tell you that if I did this right now, nothing will happen. The white things will not disappear at the lowest duration. The trick is the following. Scroll down, and what you want to turn, I will just want to make sure I did this right, the visibility, hide, turn them on. Okay, these two, hide after animating. Okay, that's what it is. You want to make sure, oh, and I lost my selection, so let me just come back. Okay, 1, 2, 3. My selection, in order to make this work, is you want to choose hide after animation. Now, I don't quite understand why, the electronics and the engineering behind this, but if you make it for the lowest duration, you then have to make this extra thing. Once I've done that, I can then come over, open my Epub Interactivity thing, replay, do this. Cool? Annette, did you know this? Did you know about the lowest duration and setting hide after animation? I'm really upset. Okay, going on. We got 25 minutes. I think we can do this. I think we can do the last one, which is hard. We're just going to do one of them. If I show you, click on the page just to make sure I have it, and click the play, and you see it comes on, and then it dissolves off. Now, you can only apply one animation to an object. So I can make it appear, or I can make it disappear. but I cannot make one object do both. But I just showed you one object appearing and then disappearing. Here's the trick. Everything is a trick. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to select the girl with her hands kind of up in the air, and I'm going to select just that image. Now, you'll notice there's a rectangle next to her. Don't select that. But what you do is you've set this object, and I'm going to come over to animation, and the preset that I'm going to choose is fade in. All right? Now, I can't set it to fade out because it's one object and you can't do two. But here's the trick. I'm now going to select the girl, which has an animation applied to it, and the rectangle. Besides Sam, Annette, Virginia, and the person who I didn't get the name, does anybody know what I'm going to do here? Who said group? What's your name? Elizabeth is in the running. We're going to group them, okay? So all I do is Command G, and now when I look at the animation panel, there is no animation applied to this object because InDesign thinks it's a whole new object. Now I can come over to the preset and choose fade out. Now, I'm not going to go through the timing and that thing. I'm going to let you read this on your own. It's in your workbook. I just want you to be able to look and see when I play this, she goes in and she comes out. One object with two animations. Could you keep adding rectangles and do more? What is your name? Say it again. Linda? Lindell. Lindell is in the running because you can keep adding, and the technical term for the rectangle is a null object. It doesn't do anything. It has no color. It has no stroke, but it's there so you can keep grouping. Now, I will warn you. If you keep grouping up the groupiness, you better start naming your groups because you will forget. It will be a nightmare. But that is how you can start making an object fade in, move across, jump up, and fade out. Is there a limit? No, I have not found any limit. The only limit I know is to my own brain, because I can't remember everything I'm doing. But this is how you can make one object fade in with two animations or more.
You rename it at the top where it says group under animation. You can rename each one there.
Or I can rename it under layers. And this is my group here. And I can rename it in the layers panel. All right, and that's actually where I would recommend that you start doing it. Is much easier to work with. All right, not bad? Cool? Okay, we have 20 minutes. We're fine. We're really fine. Let me just ask, because we're now going to start talking about exporting. Up until now, are there any questions? Really? No questions? Come on, I can't be that good. Yes. No, that's good.
Going back to the object button one, the button.
Yes, the telephones.
Would you be able to use this on different pages, say if you're setting up a contents page, so that you could actually put the name of the page, create that button, and then it would go to that page?
The question is, could you do this with a contents page or text? And so when you click on that text on the contents page, it would go to that page. It's not done as a button. It is done, and this is actually, it's actually not in my animation book. It's in a different book that I wrote called Interactive InDesign. But that is using InDesign's table of contents feature. And that would actually, and this document has a TOC that you can click and go to. What's wonderful about the TOC for interactive documents is that the table of contents is created and it works not just in Publish Online, it works in a PDF. You didn't even know it works in a PDF. Well, Salmon and It did. Okay, questions? Other questions? Okay, so let's look at exporting. Now, I promised you that there were two ways you could export. On your workbook, I have all the panels for exporting to iBooks. Well, actually, I'm exporting as an interactive EPUB. There are two kinds of EPUBs in the world. One is the kind that screws up the layout entirely. That's what you can get from Amazon and that kind of thing. The other kind of EPUB is a fixed layout EPUB. Fixed layout EPUBs freeze the layout so that things don't run around. If you've ever seen EPUBs, they're ugly. But a fixed layout EPUB, and that would be great for your clients' annual report.
But I want things to slide in and
They will on the page. You'll have them sliding in and whatever, but you'll start with a page that looks like an annual report, and then everything will come in, and there's your page. It'll be wonderful. Awesome. So what we have here is all the panels for fixed layout EPUB. All that you have to remember is the following. Very simple. You start by going, I've confused myself here because I thought I was in a document. This is a screenshot. What you will do is you go over to the File menu and you choose Export. And at the bottom, it will say Adobe PDF, but you will come down and there are two types of EPUB. The one that you're familiar with from Amazon is called reflowable, but the other is called fixed layout. Now, you can actually sell these books on the iBook store and things like that, but we're using it for internal purposes. And your client can post it up on the web so they will download the fixed layout EPUB. And it will be all as animated as I've been showing you. So here's my fixed layout EPUB. If you're not on your desktop, don't worry where you save this because we don't really care. But what you're going to do is click Save, and then you will go through all of these panels. Now, all you have to remember is the following. Export range, you want all the pages. The rasterize the cover, you would use the first page of the document. If you didn't use the first page of the document, there are choices here where you can actually go and choose an image for the cover. But we're going to keep this rasterized first page. My person about the navigation TOC, that is something else. We're not doing that right now. So we're going to go to the next setting. This is all how you can make this document smaller with size, the compression. If anybody knows about PDF, it's the exact same process. You want to make it higher, lower, over 150, that type of thing. The rest of these, CSS, JavaScript, the metadata, and the metadata, those three, CSS, JavaScript, and metadata, I'm not going to cover right now. You don't need to worry about them if you're just doing a fixed layout EPUB for yourself. If you want to sell it on the iBookstore, you would actually start working with those. But the final thing is the following. Windows people, well, Mac people, you want to, the question is, what application do you want to use to view this EPUB? On the Mac, and by the way, these work on the tablets. On the Mac and iOS, you want to use iBooks. It's there, it's simple, it's fine. But if you are working on Windows or an Android tablet, there is something here called Adobe Digital Editions, and I have in your workbook how to download it. That's the only problem for people like my friend here who wants to send the EPUB out to her clients to view, because if they are running Windows or Android, you're going to have to explain to them how to get the viewer. But for everybody else, it's all very simple. And what I'm going to do here is click.
Can you export it out as both, like, and
Oh, of course.
pick on which one?
Oh,
One for PC, one for Mac.
yeah, well, no. The question is, can you export them out for both? The file is the same. There's only one EPUB. It's how they look at it on their documents, on their they'll figure. You'll get it. I'm going to click OK, and it's churning. It's doing its thing. It's telling me, because I've got some things grouped and things over each other, I'm not worried about that for this workbook. I would never do that for a real EPUB. But when I click OK, come on, iBooks, come on. It's not going to do it? Let's try it again. We'll come over, fix layout, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll say replace, we'll say all. Come on. Got to tell it to do its thing. Okay. Okay, there it is. And this is my fixed layout EPUB. My pages are off, and I'm not going to get into why, but I just didn't, I should have made this document wider to begin with, and so I do have some problems here. But when I click on each one of these, by the way, this is where I would make the interactive table English speak not good. Click, 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 and when I come through here, it dissolves. This is a file I can send my clients. But you want something even better. So what I can do here is come up, and you'll see in the upper right corner something that says Publish Online. Again, this is Adobe is hosting this for me. So I'm going to click Publish Online. It's going to ask me, what do you want to name your document? This is what I had named it before. I'm going to say Portfolios in Class. And the description, it's an interactive document. I've got all these things. Now I can also, and this is kind of cool, if I want, I can allow them to download the document on the same page that they go to as a PDF.
And share and embed.
I can also here have little icons that will give them a link to share it or the code to embed it in your own website. So your client, it may be being hosted by Adobe, but it can be embedded in their own page. Does it cost anything to host it? Well, how much is that? Oh no, it's free. This is really good. So at this point, I'm going to click the Publish button, and it's doing its thing, it's churning. And now it's going to upload my upload my document. Did I cancel that out? Oh no. Let's just come in here, portfolio in class. I think I hit the wrong thing. Yeah, okay, come on, right. Oh, see, I did. I hit cancel upload. I'm going to say, oh, there it goes. It's uploading.
Sandee, we have a question here about the availability of those once they're on the Adobe website. Like if I create a document and I've got a link and I put it up on the Adobe site, can anybody see it?
The question is, if once I put it up on the Adobe site, can anybody see it? I can't password hide it. So if you want only certain people to see it, no, I can't do that. I can only tell certain people what the link is, but anybody with the link can go see it. That's no problem. The question is, how long will Adobe continue to host this for me? We have no idea. But if it is important to your clients, to you, your customers, write to Adobe and tell them Publish Online must be further developed.
Can you delete once it's...
Oh, can you delete once it's up there? It's a great question. Part of Publish Online is in the InDesign app, under File, you'll see something there that says Recently Published. So these are the things that I've been working on. But you will also see something here, File, something called Publish Online Dashboard. It opens to a web page, and this is where I'm looking at all the Publish Online documents that I've been publishing online, and when I click on one of them, here's my copy code, here's my embed code, and here's the trash can to get rid of it. So yes, you can do everything that you would want. Okay, now we have 6 minutes. I am open for questions on any of this.
Just a question. So then it's hosted actually in the cloud, so it's protected by your site, so it's not hosted as a freely available thing.
It's hosted on a web server called indd.adobe.com. There is no password to sign in for it. Anybody with the link can go to it. Have I answered the question?
Kind of. It's more of like how you access it as the creator of it would be through your Adobe login, is that correct?
I access this as long as I am logged onto InDesign through the Adobe Creative cloud membership, yes, I just do this. Yeah, and the Publish Online dashboard is really helpful. Last October, I created a document. It's all the way down here, but I had forgotten about it, and then they called me up and they said, we need you to make some changes. So I went to the dashboard and I scrolled all the way down and it was there. I didn't have to worry about it. Other questions?
Just so it's got analytics as well, so you can see who views it, reads it,
There are analytics, so you can tell how many people have looked. It's not very sophisticated analytics, but it does tell you how many people watched. It doesn't tell you unique visitors and that kind of thing. Other questions? Questions? No? So I suppose you're all excited. Who's in the running? Who did I say was in the running? Okay, people who are in the running. You were in the running. Sam, okay, you were in the running, you were in the running. We got 4 people here. Who here has a birthday? Well, everybody's birthday has to be coming up at some point. Who here has a birthday in August? Of my people who are in the running, remember? In August, September. One person in September? You win the book. Yay, she gets the book. We'll move that over. If you want, I'll sign the book. Yes. Question. Oh, she didn't ask the question.
So if I create a PDF document and I want to put it on a website, I want people to, put their name down and contact details, and then they can have a copy on my website to download it.
So the question is, she wants to post a PDF on her website, but she wants people to not see that PDF until she clicks, and until they click and enter their name and email, because you want to know who's going to do that. That is not done through InDesign or the PDF. That is done by your web pages. And who here knows that kind of stuff? Because I don't, and if you can teach me, I'll be thrilled. No, that would not be done through the PDF. Yeah, that's well, okay, but the comment is using Adobe Muse, but that is building the website, and you would build a widget through Muse. Yeah, but it's not in InDesign or the interactivity. Other comments or questions? I understand that there is an app. Of course there's an app for the conference. If you liked this session, please go to the app and rate me. If you did not like the session, please forget about the app. The book is on sale. You can go to Amazon. Oh, I don't think it's here. They're not selling things here. Yeah, I know. But the name of the book is Creating Animations in Adobe InDesign CC, One Step at a Time. It's too long a title to remember. Just look up Sandee, Sandee, Cohen. And by the way, since I'm over here in Asia, I've met a lot of people. Siri and the autocorrect insists that my name is Sandeep. So, but look up Sandee Cohen, you'll find the book, and it's 12:30. Thank you all very much.